Hey, how's it going? Back at you again. So just to prove my point and prove exactly to where this is going and to back up my claims about Afghanistan falling, about China expanding their Belt and Road, why China is backing Afghanistan and Iran, and the Taliban released prisoners, the ISIS prisoners. I'm going to show you what's going on and exactly to why I think where it's going and how they're eventually going to go into Africa. And all of this gives evidence to Biden's administration letting all of this happen. This was all planned. This was all supposed to happen. And this is all because of whatever behind the closed doors deals they have with China. And I'm just going to show you, and I'm going to prove it to you. So here we go. China will now be our main partner, says Taliban. What? Interesting. So China will be our main partner and represents a great opportunity for us because it is ready to invest in our country and support reconstruction efforts. What do you think those reconstruction efforts are? This is... I know I can't be the only person that sees what's going on here. The reconstruction, that's the Belt and Road Initiative. I've already covered what the Belt and Road Initiative. I know like 90% of the world has no idea what the Belt and Road Initiative is. Every time I bring it up, people are like, what? What is that? What are you talking about? Oh, Belt and Road? That doesn't sound like anything. It's like, no, this is a global thing that's happening. Share my videos about the Belt and Road to anybody who doesn't know what it means. I'm probably going to link that one at the end of this. I don't know. Maybe I'll link a couple videos. But why do you think this is happening? This is all kind of strange, right? He said the Taliban value China's Belt and Road Initiative as the project will revive the ancient Silk Road. The Taliban value. Because they're going to make money off this. And China's going to find their way into... like, everything I've said is dead on right now. So I'm going to tell you what's happening. I don't even have to read this or look through it. But I'm going to leave this in the comments in the description below, like always. And I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening. China is backing the Taliban in order to take over Afghanistan, in order to allow China in so they can harvest all the resources for this reconstruction that they're fooling the Taliban into. And the Taliban thinks they're going to make off big, but what they're really going to do is they're going to end up in debt to China because of the contracts they sign. And what's going to happen is China is going to funnel out probably at least 80% of the resources, and maybe give the Taliban access to 20% of that. Or they're going to use the contracts, which are not grants, they're loans. And they're going to fool the Taliban into these loans, and then these loans are going to default. And then it's going to make it so China now owns all the land that has anything to do with the Belt and Road Initiative and the over $3 trillion of resources that they have, and it's going to pretty much be controlled by China. And what the problem is Afghanistan is right in the middle, and so all they have to do is bring in and back up the Taliban's army with the Chinese army and expand into all the touching countries that surround Afghanistan. And one step over from that is Iran. So now we go to this one. So as U.S. retreats, China looks to back the Taliban with Afghan mining investments. What did I just talk about? The resources. What do you have to do with those resources? You have to mine them. You have to comb them. You have to allocate those resources, which I brought up in economics before. I'm going to make more videos on economics because I've been a lot more into like political stuff than I have with economics, even though it's all related. So I'm going to do a lot more videos on economics to help educate people about economics. And I'm going to make a video on cryptocurrency too, and the dangers of cryptocurrency as well. The positives and the negatives with cryptocurrency. So the defeat of Afghan the U.S. defeat in Afghanistan threatens to undermine already limited U.S. credibility and geostrategic leverage. The geostrategic leverage is being in the middle of the Middle East right there. And I'm telling you right now, what did Biden do? Biden pulled right out of there. And not only did we just pull right out, but he gave them all the United States equipment that we have. They left it behind, from tanks to everything else. Even though Americans tried to sabotage some of it, they really couldn't. And anything they sabotage is fixable. Where they smashed open some doors so they can't lock it. I mean, Taliban's just going to rebuild the doors. They're going to rewire the circuits that they smashed. It was a false flag, in my opinion, that the United States had to leave. What happened was we just handed over Afghanistan to the Taliban, and Taliban freed ISIS prisoners. Thousands of ISIS prisoners went free after the Taliban seized Afghanistan. Because what did they do? They went to the prisons and they freed them and said, now join us. So now ISIS, the group of people that were terrorizing the people in their own country and that we've been fighting for 20 years, and we finally almost put them at rest. Now they're out and they're freed from prisons, and now they're backing the Taliban. You see where this is going? And now, how is China going to benefit from Afghanistan's estimated $3 trillion in mineral reserves following the Taliban takeover? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Now that we know what the Belt and Road Initiative is, we understand what their goal is, and we understand, just go to the Belt and Road Initiative video. And I'm going to put this there too, so you can read this. They're going to exploit all the resources they have. And this is a danger, because now it's just going to help China gain control and have control over the market of the consumer market as well. I mean, this is where it goes into economics. It doesn't just stop at, money. They're going to take these resources, and not only are they going to take it from Afghanistan, but they're going to start taking it from all the surrounding countries from Afghanistan. Because then they have Iran on the other side. And what about Iran? Well, China backs Iran in times of crisis. Do you see where this is going? This is all strategic. It's like I'm not even a military general, and I see exactly what's going on here. And this is MSNBC too, so if the leftists even doubt what's going on, there it is. There's one of your favorite channels. China and Iran are foreign policy challenges for Joe Biden. No, I think Joe Biden is letting it happen because Joe Biden is being paid by China as well. I think Joe Biden has essentially, and his administration has essentially become Chinese, I don't know if they're spies or secret diplomats or directly funded by them or threatened by them, or whatever case is, they're agents of the Chinese government at this point. I am pretty convinced that the Biden administration are foreign agents for China. Think about that. Our country is being controlled by China's impulses. This is incredibly dangerous. And now that we've lifted all the sanctions, and we've lifted all the economic bans and the bans on the apps like TikTok and stuff like that, now they're just using that to spy on everybody. Young kids and their families, to exploit them. This is all going downhill. And to back that up, China's Belt and Road Initiative in the Middle East. This is the Silk Road Briefing. I'm telling you exactly where this is going. And I'm showing you. China's involvement with the Middle East, including the countries of Bahrain, Cyprus, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon. It goes on and on. Comprise a huge and diverse area split across continental lines, religious and trade blocs. all have signed with China's Belt and Road Initiative. You know, what's the one country that didn't? I don't know if they. I mean, Pakistan is kind of on the edge there too. They're not sure what they want to do. They've kind of backed out of some of the agreements. China's not too happy about that. And the biggest obstacle for China in South Asia or even the Middle East, you can kind of call it the Middle East, right on the border there is India. And this is why we need to back India. You know, even though there's been some talks about what's going on there, but now that we've lost the last president who backed and created partnerships with India, now they're screwed, because is the U.S. going to back up India, or is India going to have to defend themselves and succumb to what's going on with all of the surrounding nations? Once China lets the Taliban and ISIS take over the Middle East, they're going to go into Pakistan, and now there's going to be China and Pakistan on the borders of China. I mean, on the borders of India. And then what's going to happen after that? They're going to go right into Iran, because China backs Iran, and then that leaves a huge target open to go right to Egypt, and then they're also going to go into Ethiopia and create this pincer move, and then Saudi Arabia falls, because they're going to have no choice, because all the trade routes are going to be blocked. So they're going to have to comply with what China and the other arrested states of the Middle East do. And the same thing is with India. The only thing that India has going for itself is they have all those ports on the harbors. This is reality. And why do I think they're going to go for Africa and Ethiopia? This is how they're going to do it. They're going to use Ethiopia to cut off the supply and threaten the rivers that lead into Egypt, which is right by Iran. And Iran's going to be the military force that puts pressure on them, and they're going to use Ethiopia as their resource belt, and they're going to cut that off. So then they're going to be at the mercy of these countries, and that's how they lock in Saudi Arabia. You know, and if you don't believe me, just watch what happens. Belt and Road News, Africa. Chinese firms' investment in Africa rises despite COVID-19. Chinese private companies key to Africa's economic growth. China investments in Africa continue to expand. I'm telling you what's happening. I'm telling you what's going on in this world. And then once they get this stranglehold on these countries, this is where they start implementing these social scores. So they'll never be able to escape, and all the citizens are going to be subject to anything that China decides to do and tells them what's right and wrong. And they're going to have to do it, or they're going to get terrible social scores. They're going to be blocked off from even getting food, and they're going to be arrested and probably executed. And then once the Middle East is taken over, they're going to go right into Europe. They're going to stop all the they're going to block all of the resources that go into Europe. Europe's going to take a huge economic fall. And because at that point, Europe is going to be dependent on countries like United States, Australia, and South America. But unfortunately, you see what's happening is China is taking control of all the exports going to, or the imports going to Australia. And they're already going to be subject to the social score within a year or two. So you can count Australia out of that. So then what is the UK, especially the UK, and other countries in the European Union have to look forward to? Imports from America and from South America. But what's happening with America? Biden's administration is being coerced by China. So that's going to fall. We're going to suffer here in America. And then the UK and Europe is going to have no choice but to succumb to whatever China says. And then once all those countries fall, what's South America going to do? They're going to have no choice but to join in. We're watching the strategic takeover and the collapse of the entire world economy. And if you don't believe me, I don't know what to say. But we gotta find ways to stop this. We have to change policies. We have to get these people in the administration right now out, or we're done. And we have countries like the Canadian civilians who are looking up to us right now. We're like the last bastion of hope and freedom right now. And look what their tyrannical government's doing to them. It's Australia 2.0. So I'm just coming at you with the hard, heavy facts, letting you know exactly what's going on in this world. And if you want to stay informed, like, subscribe to this. I'm not making any money from this channel, and I'm probably never going to make money. But what's more important than that is to just get this word out. So please just share this with everybody. Anyone that you trust and everyone that you love and you care about, send this out, please. Let them know what's going on. Tell them to look at these resources and then do their own research. You know, I spend hours going into the policies across the world. I spend hours looking into documents, doing research online, fact-checking things, so I can bring you the news of what's happening in the world. And then not just the news, but the most important news that I can find. So please take that to heart. I'm glad I was able to get all that information into this video in a short amount of time. I would like to keep it around this time for each one of my videos. I know some mine get kind of long, but there's just so much information I have to get out, and there's so much information I got to go over. And I want you guys to know how much this means to me, how important this is. Because if we don't get into economics and we don't get into politics, and if we don't learn about these things, then we're going to be at the mercy of everybody else. Look at this. China's trade with Nigeria and other partners is now 1.3 trillion. So all these countries are building up their wealth. China is building up their wealth while we end up in debt by the trillions. We're over $29 trillion in debt right now. Our analysis of mega projects reveal where Chinese companies enjoy advantages and where they fall short. How can G7's new global infrastructure ... Now, there's only a few things that I need to figure out next. Is how the G7 is connected to the World Economic Forum, how the World Economic Forum is connected to the WHO, and how the CDC plays into that, and into the UN, and then also where China stands in all of that. Those are the 6 things that I got to figure out. And then we're going to be able to unravel everything else that's happening. So stay tuned. I'm going to probably go over like cryptocurrency and stuff very soon. I might make that the next video or after that or whatever, but I'm going to start doing more about economics. And then I'm going to also start going into how our schools and our media companies and our corporations have been taken over by China. And I know I've touched on that before in videos, but that's what it's going to be. So I love you guys. I'm going to keep bringing you the facts. Please spread this out. Let everybody know that you know. And I'm going to keep coming at you. And I love you all. I'm doing this for you, for everybody in the world. Not just my country, not just Western countries, not just particular countries. I want every single human in this world to benefit the most as we're living here on this planet. So take care. I'll see you soon. And I love you all. Stay informed and check you later. Bye.